This is the awesome session that I've been looking forward to. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session on hashtag Emo Currency. I'm Sabrina Myers from Hot Hospitality Exchange, and I'm super excited to be here today at the Cadence Collective and to be moderating this session, especially because I'm a huge fan and friend of my friend Heidi Lagan from the Mice Guru in Norway. So I'm going to hand it over to her now just to introduce her and her fabulousness. Heidi, over to you. Please give us a little intro to yourself so everyone has a little bit of context and how we're going to be getting emotional in the next couple of minutes.
Oh my God, Sabrina, like for real. My name is Heidi. I'm founder and chief executive guru at the Mice Guru, which is a destination management company here in Norway. So I've been producing live events, all types of mice events, from your incentives to conferences to brand activations and product launches. And since the pandemic, taken a real deep dive, like proper deep dive into all things digital, virtual and hybrid, and taking all the education, certifications, anything you can imagine, we've done it, and we've become true digital nerds in the process. So I'm kind of there right now. Now we've expanded our services to delivering virtual and hybrid events, and the kind that kind of push boundaries a little bit, as well as consulting on digital strategy. That's me.
Fantastic. We're definitely both digital nerds. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. And we have both definitely, if not so many of us event profs, I'm not going to use the word, I probably will, pivoted in the last year. It's a word that nobody wants to hear anymore. But we've done it. So, it's here to stay. So Heidi today is going to give us the 101 on the latest buzzword, hashtag Emo Currency. But before that, I just want to say she is no stranger to innovation and creativity. Just this year, she kicked off 2021 with the first ever and only 2-day familiarization trip to Stavanger, Norway. I still think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I don't know.
It's right.
It's right. Excellent. So we were in Stavanger, Norway. I was very excited to be part of that team. And also have attended this 2-day experience myself, along with hundreds of event profs. And this was in January this year. And it was truly immersive. And I really found that incredible because, we were in a virtual landscape and she managed to pull it off. It was spectacular. Now, I just wanted to say that she's now back disrupting. And the word of the moment is emo currency. Everyone's been waiting. They've been hearing it. It's a bit of a buzzword at the moment, as we see. So, Heidi, what is emo currency? Obviously, emotion is involved, but what is it exactly?
Sabrina, yes, thank you so much for that intro. I mean, I truly enjoyed the digital trip as much as you did. And I am a very emotional person. And I'm super happy, really, that Michael kicked off this event by calling out, emotions and how it's important. And I believe that the ability to express emotions honestly and authentically is one of the greatest strengths you can have as a person. And then in the event space, it's absolutely the same thing. The ability to move people is really the core of our industry. So whether it's live or virtual or hybrid, your event will not be successful if you're not able to inspire your attendees. That's what Cadence is doing really well today. And we're hoping to do with all of our events in the near future. And I like to call it emo currency, as you said. It's kind of the emotional value you deliver in a digital world in return for the screen time that your attendees are giving you. Mm-hmm. They pay you maybe through a paid virtual ticket or even just their time investment to get inspired and to learn something. And so it's really important to ask yourself that question: how do you move them and at the same time get your message across? Emotion is the core of absolutely everything. And I think many of us have kind of forgotten that a little bit. Once we dove into all the tech side of things and the digital world, it all became a little bit complex, complicated, new stuff happening all around us. Everything is a little overwhelming, but we absolutely need to bring back emotion to events.
Absolutely agree. And you're absolutely right. They've kicked off today's event definitely emotionally for me. I mean, I'm a big Disney fan. So when I saw that video, that wonderful clip, and it had Disney music, I connected straight away. I was like, oh, it's Toy Story. And that brought back all these memories for me. And I will now forever remember this event because they did that. That is the strong power of emotion. And also that little clip in between where it's like, shit, event planners say. I've said all of those things. So I completely relate. Again, emotional exchange right there. It's about being able to relate, right? And so emotion is definitely an exchange, and one that can really drive and fuel engagement and experience, especially in this virtual environment. So where does Emo Currency fit into a larger plan? Tell us that.
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, first of all, I think we need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture of it all. Most virtual and hybrid events we see right now are, to be honest and quite frank, really boring. I mean, I bet you've seen many of them. A lot of people are kind of like copy pasting what they are doing. Yeah, I'm not naming any names. Yeah, promised, right? Companies have kind of been forced to find quick fix solutions. I call it the quick fix digital mindset. Like, we've found ourselves in a new day-to-day home office environment, whatever. A lot of things changed, and companies have had to adapt really, really fast. So they turn to these quick fix solutions, being tools or very bland, simple software. Did all of their meetings on whichever video meeting tools, without naming any. Again,
Don't say it.
No, I'm not going to say it. But it became that kind of a uninspiring environment of looking at a wide digital wall, right? So first of all, we need to move away from that and focus on a long-term plan and actually work on a proper digital strategy. So in a digital strategy, you should make room for everything you do online. It's not just your virtual and your hybrid events. It's the way you collaborate these days online, the way you inspire your employees. It's your community building, and it's also something you know everything about, Sabrina. It's your social media and your content strategies. So those have radically changed since pre-pandemic. So it's time to review all of those things and put it all together in a unified approach, which is a digital strategy. And Emo Currency, which is delivering your emotion, should be really present in all of those components. Like, for example, if your employees are in a home office situation, do you think they're still equally loyal to your vision, your corporate vision as a brand? Are they equally loyal to the brand? You might hope so, you might choose to think so, but perhaps they're gardening instead of putting in the time, So it's important that you keep moving your internal staff as well. You have to motivate them and inspire them. And if you fail to do that, I mean, you're losing the value of what you're trying to do as a company. It's the innovation value that goes lost. You need to get back to creating emotion for everybody, whether it be your employees, your suppliers, your clients, your potential buyers. Anybody you want to reach has to be moved in an authentic way. You need to put your purpose out there, and that starts with connecting people and delivering Emo Currency.
Absolutely. I completely agree with the moving people in an authentic way. I think more than anything, humanity has changed in the last year. We've all changed how we communicate. We've all changed how we work. We've normalized so many things, like children running in, pets running across laptops, birds flying into your room whilst you're in a call, all sorts of things happening, right? And it's truly changed how we kind of do everything that we do. And I think one of the biggest things that emotion can or emotion makes that connection with is having that relevance, right? When you are creating things that are relevant because of the experiences and the changes that have occurred, then that's where the magic happens. And when you use that emotion across all parts of the business and you have this digital strategy and you bring everyone on board, that's where it all happens. So It's definitely not just a buzzword. It's a big picture goal. And it's a foundation that we need to be building, as you say, because that's where we kind of build up from now. And talking about digital, you are no stranger to being a disruptor. It's kind of like, I feel like if I looked it up in the dictionary, your picture would be right next to the word
Wow.
disruptor in the events industry. You disrupted with the digital trip, and now you're back disrupting with a new event in September this year, and it's called the Digital Disruptor. So can you tell us a little bit more about the Digital Disruptor, Heidi, and also how are you bringing Emo Currency to that event?
Of course, I'm super excited about this one, Sabrina. I'm also very happy to have you on board again as a moderator. Yay! And the event, the Digital Disruptor, is going to be on Cadence. And so far, I've really enjoyed working with the team. You're all rock stars. I'm loving it. And we are, as you said, going to disrupt. So that means pushing a lot of boundaries and testing out and trying things that haven't been done before. And that's why I feel we landed at the right place, because we have a team at Cadence that is supporting that and that is literally like cheering us on and going like, okay, we haven't done that. That sounds a little scary, but let's do it and let's give it a go. And you know what? I've run into this report recently by an event tech provider as well. And they had asked 800 top companies about digital transformation and what they call the digital experience economy, which we are living in at the moment. And those companies all replied, like 88%, I remember, replied that innovation and experimentation is absolutely crucial for growth and development of any company moving forward. So it is super, super important to be a part of that and not just to wait and see. Right?
Absolutely.
So the Digital Disruptor is an event, a hybrid event that will be virtually launched globally around the world on Cadence and live in Stavanger, Norway, with an audience of up to hopefully 200 people. And we will do the utmost in connecting the live and virtual audience, because that is what I believe is missing from most hybrid events that we've seen so far. We want to really create the event as one whole experience for both audiences together. There will be absolutely no boredom, so get ready. It'll be filled with loads of interaction through activities the live and the virtual audience can join in on together, connecting through augmented reality, showcasing possibilities, for example, virtual studio show floors, etc., using the cameras in different ways than what we've been doing before. Forget about the home office setup. You know, we're going like totally off.
You're going guerrilla. You're going rogue with
guerrilla,
this event, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'm going to put you in places, Sabrina, you know. There will be a lot of surprise elements all throughout the event. So this is the one event that you're not going to want to miss. It'll be on 3rd of September. So already mark your calendars. We'll discuss everything digital strategy. So it's also kind of a day of clarity for companies, brands, event planners, anybody who wants to dive into virtual and hybrid events to really grasp everything that is a component of a digital strategy, what you can do, how you can elevate your message, how you can do things differently. Because, somebody also mentioned it in an earlier session today. Dare to be different, like bring your ideas to life, your vision, your dreams, just produce it. It's scary, yes, but there is no innovation without a little bit of fear. And we have to go there. Otherwise, we keep just reproducing what is already existing, and it's absolutely boring us all to death. So wake up. It's kind of like a wake-up call. Deliver your emotions. Don't miss this event. I suggest you already keep an eye on it. We have the website in my speaker profile, so go and check it out. There's a drone leading it, a dronality, not a personality, but an actual drone called the Digital Disruptor, or, if you're friends
I love that.
with it, it's DD for the close family and the close circle.
That's right.
Go follow at The Digital Disruptor on Instagram and TDD Hybrid on Twitter, and you'll be inspired and surprised by lots of content that will start rolling out from about 2 weeks from now, 8 weeks prior to the event. So it's super exciting. Sabrina, are you ready to join me on that one?
I'm not sure. I'm kind of nervous, but I am excited. I think that's a good thing, right? I think it's always exciting to venture into the unknown and to see what magic can come out of it. I think it's amazing. So I'm super excited to be part of the team. I will be moderating, absolutely, with some other superstar moderators as well. And, after having experienced the digital trip, I can only imagine how incredible this event is going to be. So at the end of the day, emotional currency, emo currency to me is, despite us leveling up in this entire world of technology, us as event profs, just like embracing tech and becoming skilled and certified and all of this, it's still being able to bring that human connection and that humanity and that connection and touch point back to the audience, even though we can't touch in real life. Maybe, I don't know, not just yet. But
I'm
yeah,
dying to give you a proper hug, Sabrina. I really want to hug people again.
I know, and I think this is what it is. At the end of the day, we've embraced the tech, but it's bringing that humanity back to the tech, and that's how we can do it, through emo currency. So if you are wanting to really throw yourself into that world, find out all about digital strategy and really level up, then you're going to not want to miss the Digital Disruptor. Now, I have a final question from me anyway. We're going to check in with Haley to see if she's got any questions for us coming in from the audience. But for me, the last question is there any last piece of advice that you want to share with the audience?
Yes, do it. Just do it. You know what you wake up with in the morning, those weird dreams you had. Oh, wouldn't it be cool to have that type of an event? Produce it, go for it, It's okay to feel scared. Go for innovation, go for experimentation, and really push those boundaries and stop doing what everybody else is doing. I've said it already earlier. I'll keep repeating it because I think it's crucial. I want people to elevate what they are doing, because this is really the entire industry that will get elevated by people that deliver creative solutions in a virtual hybrid setting. So people, please, you are all involved in creating and designing events. Keep that creativity going, bring that emotion back in there, and deliver that emo currency. Always.
Love that. Aim for emotion. Yeah. Aim for emotion. Aim for that connection. And you're halfway there. So we've got a fantastic question from the audience, which are, what are some of the best surprise and delight moments you've seen at a virtual event? I love this. This is a good question.
Oh, that's a tough one. To be honest, most of the events I've been a part of, and I've been a part of hundreds, believe me, have not been able to inspire me very much, to be perfectly honest. I mean, interesting content, sure, nice to educate yourself and listen to all types of topics, but I haven't seen great examples of a two-sided communication other than a chat box. So we're really trying to push that. But what we've done personally and what I've really enjoyed is creating video content that is from a guest point of view. You remember, Sabrina, at the digital trip, in a virtual event or a hybrid event, even, you will always have your live sessions, and you will have some pre-recorded content. And it's important that that pre-recorded content also speaks to your audience as much as possible. So what we did was we filmed it as if the camera was you. So you travel, you experience a nice environment, you do an activity. It's literally the camera doing it for you, and you experience experience it as a guest. That I thought was really great. And what we are seeing in that is developing as more of a trend that we've also been doing for a while now is using live venues. So I said, instead of sitting in that home office environment, why don't you take your speaker out in another setting? I understand it's not always possible and you can't just, request it from any speaker anywhere around the world. But if you know someone is tech savvy or they have a team or they are close to your own team, put them in an inspiring environment. It makes such a huge difference when your audience can experience what's happening around the speaker rather than just listening to a speaker sitting at his or her desk. That's,
Fantastic.
I think, some of the most important things.
Great tip. Fantastic. I mean, for me, it was definitely Tomorrowland and experiencing Tomorrowland, which was, I've actually never been to Tomorrowland myself. Don't I look like the type? I could go to Tomorrowland. But I mean, I did attend it and it was virtual. It blew my mind completely because I did not expect that kind of a setup. But I think, again, it was the Emo Currency that made me stay connected to this event and be memorable, because I actually attended with a group of event profs and we were all on a Zoom call together experiencing Tomorrowland. And that's the thing, we brought that humanity to this incredibly digital virtual event, and it just made all the difference. So that's probably was the biggest surprise for me. I would never think I would virtually visit Tomorrowland, but I did, and I had a blast. So that was, that. And we're going to end now with our last question from the audience, which is, what are the most sought out features to attract vendors to virtual events?
That's a very tricky one, isn't it? I mean, you are talking about sponsorship or opportunities. You are talking about data analytics. I mean, you are talking about reaching out to a much wider audience than you are used to. So basically, your key selling point would be exactly that. It's inclusivity. It's larger audiences. It's literally for a vendor. Imagine you invite, depends on the type of vendor you are, but you invite 5 to 10 people in person to discover your product. And then you do that, let's say, in a virtual setting where you multiplied that times 1,000, right? Everything is possible now, and people have gotten used to connecting digitally. So I am a firm believer that you can reach that human connection also virtually. It's not just like before, where we were reluctant to do it. It's not just a Zoom or a team meeting. It can be so much more. It can be a virtually enhanced type of showcase of your project where you involve an audience, and you can collect data on what the people are most interested in. Like, data is still in the very early stages of being understood. There is such huge potential there. You can literally sell the data to your vendors as a separate entity. It's absolutely incredible what kind of information you can gather through a virtual event. So plenty more where that came from. I am telling all suppliers, vendors, just, you need to get involved in these things. It's absolutely important to be a part of the digital experience economy, because if you are not there and you don't have a great presence digitally, then your brand value is literally on the way down. So
absolutely,
that's what I'd say.
That's Heidi has always the spot on answers here. So thank you for that, Heidi. My answer to that would be people. You've got the right people at the event. That's the humanity. Pick the right people. Pick the right characters. Pick influencers within your space. Pick the ones that are making the most noise and get them to share the message, because there's nothing more effective than word of mouth, and people are your digital word of mouth. So pick those people. They can make a huge impact no matter what. So thank you, everyone. And thank you for your questions. Thank you, Heidi, for such an amazing session. I'm super excited for the Digital Disruptor coming up. And thank you to Cadence for allowing us to be part of this amazing first ever Cadence Collective. To Michael and the team, and Haley, who is being a superstar moderator today. So thank you all, and thank you for joining us in this session. And now I'm going to throw it back to Haley. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.